Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. August 21st, 2020. Moai, Kim McIntyre, and we're live. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to get logged in. I've had a wonderful morning today. I hope you have too. When you log in and you watch, do me a favor and give me a little hi, give me a reply. Let me know you're here. That'd be appreciated. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. Either way is fine. And that way I also know that everybody can hear me. Hopefully everybody. Hello, Ann. All right. I think you might like the start of our, excuse me, got the yawns going, which means we're already dumping. Good job, everybody. Setting the intention, right? The intention to be happy, knowing that our happiness will percolate out from us. Let me know you're here. Hey, Christine, hello again. Hope you're doing well. Doing better every day. The work here is about balance, but we also have to know that balance is a never-ending process. It's kind of like the work of Dan Millman, Journey of the Peaceful Warrior. We're always improving. We don't just become peaceful, we improve to find peacefulness. We work to improve to find balance in our entire life, not just, say, for instance, our diet or our physical body or our emotions, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So today we're going to find where we need to read from Chi Running. This book actually helped me enjoy running a little bit. I'm not a runner, I never will be, but I do know that running is a valuable part of finding your ability to ride bikes faster, right? Improving your cardiovascular fitness. For anyone here that's new, I use muscle testing with all of my work. So basically I've connected into the universe as you guys are connected, and we figure out what we all need to hear for our day for the start of this session. All right. So, ending a run. And this is from, again, Chi Running, and it's transitioning out of a run. So when you're finished with your run, and run can be a broad thing. It doesn't mean we have to go running, but maybe you've had a stressful moment, because running is a stress, right? A stress that we're looking to learn from, hopefully, not just stressing ourselves out and telling our body, this is the way I want to be all the time. We want to be nice and relaxed during our run. So ending a run. And what we're going to do is we're going to integrate. Excuse me, guys. We're going to integrate tapping or emotional freedom technique into this. So if you're familiar with it and there's a certain way you tap, feel free to tap that way. If you want to follow along with where I tap, that's great. I will not tap on my hands while I'm doing it, even though that's part of the protocol that I teach. I won't tap there because I'm holding a book, so I can't tap on my hands. But that's okay, because we've got the intention. Whew. You guys are really ready today, aren't you? I'll tell you what, after yesterday's session, my armpits were sweaty, my lower back was sweaty. You guys did a great job at letting go. So I appreciate that. Ooh. Bear with me. Okay, so ending a run. If you just jump back in your car and head off to your next event, you could end up walking around with tight legs. Give yourself a little time to switch out of running and into the rest of the day. A cool down and stretching period allows excess lactic acid to be flushed into your bloodstream and eliminated from your body. If it is allowed to linger in your system, study shows that it turns to concrete or worse. We're going to read that one more time. Ending a run. If you just jump back in your car and head off to your next event, you could end up walking around with tight legs. Give yourself a little time to switch out of running and into the rest of your day. A cool down and stretching period allows excess lactic acid to be flushed into your bloodstream and eliminated from your body. If it is allowed to linger in your system, study shows that it turns to concrete or worse. So after a stressful time, whether it be a run, whether it be exercise, whether it be a sudden wrench in your spokes, a wrench in your day, give yourself a cool down. A cool down can be simply something as simple as breathing. I teach breathing 3 seconds in, 5 seconds out. Doesn't mean you have to breathe that way all the time, but if you've been stressed, or say for instance you are working out, I highly recommend trying to practice that breathing. Not trying, but actually doing it. That made a huge difference in my life. When I first learned that breathing, I would go for a walk and I couldn't make 10 steps without losing that breath, because my system was so overloaded with stress and had been most of my life. But I stuck with it and integrated the tapping with it. Talked about the anger and the sadness and the disappointment about not being able to do something, and released all those things, along with focusing on my alignment and my proper core going down through the entire center of the body, not just in the abdomen. Brought in happiness about being able to do it while tapping, because remember, tapping talks to the unconscious brain and helps rewire your brain quickly. Now, when I work with people, possibly today, one-on-ones when I work on myself. I also rewire the brain by working with the cranial bones and the brain itself and the spinal column. And the changes are drastic and very fast. So I like hearing how people transition too, because it puts a smile on my face hearing how people improve. Because I know as I improve, it's like, wow, that is so cool. I'm able to bring my leg out to the side now and raise it higher than just parallel and not hold my breath while I'm doing it. Or simply opening a jar of peanut butter without holding my breath. I mean, one day I was working out, I was doing squats, and I had 315 on there, and I was breathing perfectly, 3 seconds in, 5 seconds out. It took me 6 months to train that because I taught myself how to squat so improperly. It was horrible. But I got home that day and made myself a sandwich, and I go to open the jar, and I held my breath as soon as I went to open this already open jar. So yeah, it's pretty interesting how we will compensate in order to get jobs done. So the more conscious we become of how we respond or what we're doing in certain situations, we can release those compensations and build efficiency in the system. Physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It's pretty huge, and it's a lot of fun. So if you can be happy while you're making those transitions, right? Not happy because you're making the transitions, but happy while you're making the transitions. It's kind of like doing something because it makes me happy. Well, that's all fine and good, but what happens when you're done doing that? Are you not going to be happy again? Or can you learn how to bring that happiness into the other things that you do, even things that you don't enjoy doing? We can still be happy. So are there any questions out there today? Any things we'd like to, any questions about yourself? Any questions about things you'd like to improve? Oh, we're going to bring in some energy of the South while we're thinking about what we might ask. Energy of the South. Play, love, and laughter. Do you have enough play, love, and laughter? What can the hubby do? Hey, we can help with that. Okay, you're going to look into Ayurveda for the hubby. And you're going to look at balancing Pitta. Okay, now since Anne is such an amazing researcher, she's going to find out everything that she needs and he needs. Something I've written down here about Pitta. Holy cow, is he there with you? Because somebody's dumping. I don't know who it is. Physical features of a Pitta. Hot in nature with robust circulation that leads to ruddy coloring and warm extremities. Medium-sized build, moderate muscle tone, skin is fair, warm, reddish, soft, and moist. Many freckles and moles with tendency towards rashes or acne. Medium-sized eyes are light in color, soft, thin, light-colored, or reddish hair that may turn gray or bald early. Oh, look at that. Doesn't mean all these features are with him. I'm just reading some things about Pitta, and we all have the 3 doshas within us, Kapha, Pitta, and Vata. I'd never resonated with the Ayurvedic work until just recently. I was working with a friend of mine's Chihuahua. He had run into the sliding glass door in the new house that they had just bought at full speed and done some pretty bad damage. They had to pull some teeth. His atlas was out. He had suffered concussion as far as testing had gone. A lot of emotions had come up because the dog had been abused before the owners had got him. And my testing was all done, and it said that, but my testing also said the dog needed more work, but there wasn't anything else in my testing that was coming through. So I sat back real quick, and I don't know how I got this information, but the friend who brought him in, he connects with Pitta, or connects with Ayurveda. So that connected all of a sudden, and so I Googled it and brought it up, and boom, the dog just, wow, balanced immediately. It was insane. So that's when I started looking into the Ayurvedic work. I'm not a Ayurvedic practitioner by any means, nor am I acupuncturist or chakra guy or whatever. But I do know and accept the fact that we know everything that we need to know on the unconscious level and on the energetic level. And so as soon as we make those connections, like yesterday, Anne stated that allergies are a bacterial infection, and I've been suffering with allergies for 2 months until I put hydrogen peroxide in my ears, and then all of a sudden all the allergies are gone. She mentioned that, and lo and behold, my testing says, yeah, you had a massive bacterial infection, and that's possibly what the peroxide took care of. Yeah, that was a rough couple months. So, balance and Pitta. Can't help with the prostate right now, but the Pitta work will help get him started. And then hopefully next time he comes online, something else will come up unless the prostate itself helps. Cool. How do I gain weight and strength? Probably, maybe. Who knows? Maybe both. Because I know the peroxide was pretty bubbly at first. Yeah. Hello, Charlene. All right, Christine. How do I gain weight and muscle strength? I don't have an answer for you in that aspect. The reason why is because at this time in your life, on the unconscious level, you don't want to do the things necessary. Does that make sense? Either you work too hard now. On the unconscious or maybe even the conscious level, it's just too hard, right? So that's where the tapping comes in. And this is my prayer test. I do this to make sure I take my ego out of it. That's where the tapping comes in. Tap about your past experiences with gaining weight and building muscle. In whatever way that was, okay? Tap and talk about what it would mean to gain weight and muscle strength. Are you comfortable gaining weight? Okay, I know you may have been told you need to gain weight, but if we're not comfortable gaining weight, then nothing anybody says will do anything, because we will fight tooth and nail to keep ourselves where we're at. Okay? Is the vertigo any different from yesterday? And maybe you're pushing yourself too hard. You've taken yourself past your ability to understand what the heck you're doing. If you can't breathe through your nose while you are, we'll call it exercising, but whatever we're doing, that's a stress breath. And if you're breathing in and out of your mouth rapidly, you're stressing out your brain, especially with all those head injuries that you sustained, and you'll end up with a weakness, whether it be vertigo or digestive issues or whatever's happening. So Yeah, let me know if you've noticed a difference in the vertigo. Practicing your breathing every single day, every single time you think about it. 3 seconds in, 5 seconds out, in the nose and out the nose. Mouth, worse today, okay? How was it yesterday? What did you notice after this little session yesterday? Good things and bad things, not just focus on the bad. Did you have a stressful night? Did you breathe last night? Lots of things change as we peel apart those onions. And there's a lot of onions peeled apart yesterday, or a lot of layers in your onion peeled apart yesterday. So things will be coming up. Tapping every single day. Don't just wait for these videos, but follow the protocol, follow the video that's on the YouTube page, and you will experience changes. All right. Charlene, my brother has pinched nerves causing severe pain. Let's see, need more information. Where are the pinched nerves? Where is the pain? Is your brother there with you right now? Joanne, how can I calm my bladder for better sleep? Okay, and that's a big one for most of us watching right now. So I'm going to go over to my bookshelf up here. There's something we need to read about bladder or that area. So bear with me, I'll be right back. Okay, so while we're doing this right now, Christine, start tapping and talk about the hubby stressing you out. Seriously, everything and anything comes up, because that's not the first time has your husband stressed you out. We do that. I mean, I I got married and I'm grateful that I did, because I've got a wonderful wife and I've got a wonderful daughter, and we've learned so much from each other. But I also believe that I'm supposed to be like the medicine man in the Brazilian forest who can't live with everybody else because there's too much information and he's got to deal with, so he has to live by himself, right? So we're being affected every single day by our loved ones, by people that we walk by in the store. That's this here. So as you help yourself, right, you're helping everyone around you. And also know, sorry, we've lost track on the bladder, but just a second. Also know that as you begin to change, others might try to push your buttons to keep you where they're at. No fault against them. That's just what they're used to. But tapping every day for yourself and keeping yourself on track, so very important, okay? Especially with head injuries. Okay, bladder, which in turn is also going to help your brother, Charlene, okay? Because where's the bladder? Down here in the pelvis. There's our pinched nerves. Here is our core, all the way down to the bottom of the foot. Okay? So this is going to be huge. This is going to help a lot of us. And lo and behold, what came up was life-changing foods. A lot of you are familiar with this, I believe. So we are going to look at the spiritual aspects of whichever foods come up. stop at cucumbers to begin with. All right. So we're going to tap about the spiritual aspect of cucumbers. All right. So follow along. Because they're green and we eat them in salads, we often think of cucumbers as a vegetable. Woo! Whose head's itching? When we open one up, though, we remember that all of those little seeds mean a cucumber is truly a fruit. It's a powerful reminder that outside appearances and the boxes other people put us into don't make up the full truth of who we are. Very often we too have a talent, quality, or gift that someone couldn't guess just by looking at us. Cucumbers teach us to look deep inside ourselves and each other for the miracles we all contain. Okay. We're going to do that one more time. The spiritual lesson of cucumbers. Because they're green and we eat them in salads, we often think of cucumbers as a vegetable. When we open one up, though, we remember that all those little seeds mean a cucumber is truly a fruit. It's a powerful reminder that outside appearances and the boxes other people put us into don't make up the full truth of who we are. Very often we too have a talent, quality, or gift that someone couldn't guess just by looking at us. Cucumbers teach us to look deep inside ourselves and each other for the miracles we all contain. So let me know how that felt to you guys. Joanne specifically, but anybody else. What did you experience while we talked about the spiritual lesson of a cucumber? I'm not sure. All right. Felt more calm. All right. All right. And this one here might resonate with you better, Joanne. This is the educated heart. Professional boundaries for massage therapists, body workers, and movement teachers. All right. I'm smiling, eating a cucumber salad right now. I can't tell you the association, Ann, because all I know is that the testing said, read the spiritual lesson about cucumber. Okay? Do you judge others by their outsides? Have you ever been judged by your outside and afraid to show who you are? I know I have, right? And if you think about it, I'm not your typical energy guy, right? I'm not wearing, and no judgment, right? Or there's judgment, whoever, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm not one to go out and wear rainbow colors and all that kind of stuff. I'm wannabe surfer, snowboarder guy who is able to move a lot of energy, right? but nobody might be able to see the fact that I move energy because I don't present that. So if we're not being true to ourselves, outside of ourselves, right, we're holding on in, we're not going to have a core. Okay? If we don't have a core, our internal organs will not have support, and they will they will have to support themselves as well as do their job of holding urine for the bladder. So if they're holding on to their surroundings and trying to hold urine, nothing's ever going to work. Okay? It might go deeper than that. We might have to work on some muscles in relation to the bladder, but we also might have to read about dual relationships and boundaries and wearing many hats. Anybody feel a little tightness in the chest when it comes to dual relationships and boundaries, wearing many hats? So we're going to start right where it says to start. We can't all know the reasons. We can't know all the reasons for this unhappy outcome. But it was no doubt complicated by the effects of the transference. The painter said later that he had become accustomed to seeing his friend as the nurturer. He had come to expect her to take care of him, forgetting that he had an adult responsibility for his side of the bargain. He then felt hurt when she criticized his work. When we are switching roles, the effects of transference and countertransference can create confusing situations. In this story, we also see examples of two problems that are discussed later. How easy it is for both parties to be casual about framework when we are working with friends, and the difficulty of bartering services or doing trades, especially with someone who is not trading his or own professional services. Many experienced practitioners stay clear of dual relationships because of the built-in problems. Whether we're trying to turn a client into a friend, doing a trade, or any other possibilities, both sides can end up feeling shortchanged. Wow. Okay. How did that resonate with you? That was a big one for me. Really big. You know, I've tried to help, all of my friends, but not everybody wants help. Not everybody wants help in the way that I can give it. And I would always be so angry when they wouldn't heed my advice. But how many times would I not heed other people's advices, right? Let's see. Made me think of how I judge myself for not having any special gift. And I guarantee if you tap, I'm sorry, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Madhavi, you will find that you do have a special gift. Who knows what it is? I can't knit. My grandmother-in-law, I think that's how it said, she tried to teach me one day. I knitted a string, but it was horrible. And I'm like, yeah, this isn't for me. That's not my special gift. But also through tapping, I taught myself how to draw, and I could not draw. Charlene, keep tapping. Okay, right now, continue tapping because you're feeling it. Okay, it's coming up. Tap until you stop feeling it. Okay, very important. And if you need to leave right now, then leave or stay here and continue receiving the healing that everybody is offering. Okay? Feel tightness and tingling. Okay? Joanne, same thing. Keep tapping. Very important. I'm going to read that again. Okay? We can't know all the reasons for this unhappy outcome, but it was no doubt complicated by the effects of transference. The painter said later that he had become accustomed to seeing his friend as the nurturer. He had come to expect her to take care of him, forgetting he had an adult responsibility for his side of the bargain. He then felt hurt when she criticized his work. When we're switching roles, the effects of transference and countertransference can create confusing situations. Good. I just felt some tingling go through, so all of us felt a release there. In this story, we also see examples of two problems that are discussed later. How easy it is for both parties to be casual about framework when we are working with friends, and the difficulty of bartering services or doing trades, especially with someone who is not trading his or her own professional services. Many experienced practitioners stay clear of dual relationships because of the built-in problems. Whether we're trying to turn a client into a friend, doing a trade, or any other possibilities, both sides can end up feeling shortchanged. Now what's interesting, I don't know if you notice this, but it's much easier for me to read things the second time than it is the first time. And that happens for me a lot when there's a lot of energy happening, okay? My eyes can't see as clearly, so those of you who have eye imbalances or have a hard time seeing, start tapping, because the eyes are connected to the unconscious self, and the unconscious self, if it's stressed out, it's not going to communicate properly through the eyes, the ears, the mouth. Your taste might go away. It will not give information to or receive information from the organs. So all the food that you eat might not be doing as much benefit as you would like because of the lack of communication, because of the stress. Okay? Tapping, very important. Does that feel better that time for anyone else? Do you feel more supported as you sit or you stand there? And support comes from the inside. Do you feel like your chair is supporting you better? If it does, that means that you are better supported by your own self and allowing your chair to support you. That's huge. A little story in that. I taught myself how to ski a few years back. Nice. Very good. Good, Charlene. And I went to teach myself how to ski because I couldn't snowboard anymore because I wasn't freaking smart enough to stay on the ground, and I couldn't afford to hit my head anymore because I have a family now. So I taught myself how to ski with the intention of staying on the ground and getting two edges. And all the way up the mountain, I was just angry and irritated, and I couldn't figure out why. I should be happy. I'm going up to the snow again. I love being up there. Yes, a little lighter. Very good. Very good, Joanne. That's your core beginning to support you, and the core wants to support your bladder. And if your bladder is supported, you will have a better night's sleep. So I recommend you tap before you go to bed to release all the gibberish. If you wake up in the middle of the night and have to go pee, it's okay. Go pee, lay back down, tap again, let it go back to sleep. So I get up there on the mountain, get my skis on, and it takes 20 minutes to get down a run that's about the length of 2 football fields. I mean, it was really short, and it was horrible. My feet hurt, my jaw hurt. Not a good time, but I stayed with it, got on the lift, started doing my homework, tapping, releasing the fear and the anxiousness and the anxiety, all that stuff, and got to the top, and the next run took about 7 minutes down. Got on the lift again, tapped, next run, 2 minutes down, I was just flying. Wasn't in the best of control, but I was flying. It was cool. Okay, I'm done, because my feet are pretty sore, so that means I'm not supporting with my core. I'm trying to grip with my feet, and that doesn't work in ski boots. So I got everything off, got back down to the truck, got in the truck, and had to raise my rearview mirror because I was sitting so much taller in the truck because I'd released so much of the fears and the anxieties and the angers. I wasn't done by any means because a lot came up. I had a lot of work to do after that, but still. All right. Yes, trust what comes through. And if you don't trust what's comes through, tap on trust. A lot of us have lost our trust throughout our life for whatever reason. Trusting ourselves, trusting others, not realizing how much trust we actually have in everything. Trust in the fact that that car is not going to run us over. Trust in the fact that someone's not screwing with their food. Trust in the fact that I can walk down the stairwell without falling down. Yeah. Gotta get another book. I'll be right back. Let me know how you guys are doing. Let each other know how you guys are doing. Yeah, put it out there, because if someone else can see, if someone can see that you've made an improvement, that gives them some hope that maybe they can improve. You know, a lot of us don't have hope. We can tap on finding hope that we can improve, that we can feel better. So let's see. This is The New Rules of Posture by Mary Bond. From my old Rolfing days. This looks like an old vitamin. Weird. Okay. So this is your pelvis. These are all the muscles in your hip. Okay? It's not just about glute maximus, the big old butt muscle. You've got glute medius, glute minimus, piriformis, gemellus, superior, inferior, obturator, internus, externus, and quadratus femoris. Not to mention all the ligaments and tendons and nerves that are in there. So we're going to do a little exploration of hip rotation. So we are going to stand with your weight distributed evenly on both feet. So I'll give you a minute to get yourself situated in a position. As long as you can hear my voice, you'll be good. All right, here we go. Gradually shift your weight to the right until you're resting over your right foot. Leave your left foot touching the floor, but without weight on it. Relax and let your pelvis yield onto your right hip joint. You will notice that as your pelvis settles, your right thigh rotates ever so slightly inward to the left. The leg does this not through any muscular action, but as a result of relaxation of the hip. When you're standing, internal rotation is the natural action of your thigh when your hips yield to gravity. But there's more. Notice that your pelvis is rotated very slightly to the right, toward your right leg. Try the experiment on the other side. Gently yield your weight from a two-footed stance onto your left foot. Your left knee comes under your body by rotating towards the center, while your navel turns a few degrees to the left. As a result, the belly button and knee come into line with one another. With thigh and pelvis curving towards one another, you have shifted your central axis over the weighted leg. The counter rotation cocks the hip joint just like a coiled spring, twisting its muscles and ligaments. As the joint untwists, it will lift the pelvis and contribute to forward motion in the opposite leg. You'll feel this in the next exploration. Now release your pelvis onto your right hip as in last time. Your left foot should touch the floor passively. Rest your right hand lightly across your buttock, just behind your right hip joint now. Now, without using your left leg to help, lift your pelvis back up onto two legs. In doing this, your right thigh begins to reverse its rotation, an action that impels your left hip forward. The muscles that bring this about lie deep within your right buttock. You may have felt their activity under your hand. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so this is the first one here. You're letting yourself be supported here. And you feel the rotation here. Now, I don't have as much freedom on my right as I do on my left. My left's, the hip socket sinks in nice and easy. The right, not so much. So for me, what I would do is find out the compensation. And it's not a physical compensation to begin with. It may feel physical, but right now it's not physical. It's a chakra imbalance. It's an imbalance in my first chakra, okay? That's on the bottom of your pelvis. That's your groundedness, your feeling of being safe. And I'm bringing in the color violet from my crown chakra into my root chakra, and immediately I'm feeling my pelvis relax. So that's our communication with our higher self, God, universe, coming into my root chakra. Good, and that's already finished. And now I have a nerve that needs to be balanced. In the right buttock. And it's a nerve that supplies glute medius, medius. Yeah. So we're bringing that nerve from the muscle. Whew, there we go. Whee! Look at that. Very good. And you can play with this in all kinds of aspects, right? You can take a step forward with one of your legs, let your hip sink, okay? And that's how we get motion in our hips while we're walking, okay? A figure 8 motion through our hips. But again, this has been a long practice for me, okay? If you're unaware of the chakras and meridians and all that kind of stuff, you can tap on the emotion. Because guess what? Emotions are attached to the physical body. They're attached to the chakras. They're attached to the meridians. They're attached to everything. And if we're holding on to emotions, we don't allow ourselves to grow. Very good. So I hope everybody is feeling some improvement. Doesn't mean that you are 100% balanced, right? But we are better balanced. Does anybody feel some improvements in any way, shape, or form? And as you think about that and write that down, we're going to bring in some support energy from the north. Energy from the north is about self-healing. Bringing in energy from the west. Energy to support your release of attachment from yesterday. I feel overall calm. Very good. Nice. That's a big improvement from becoming sad, huh, Charlene? So think of the West as the sun sets in the West, the day ends as the sun sets. It's the end of yesterday, right? It's the beginning of tomorrow as you recuperate in your nightly slumber. My right hip feels less tight. Nice job, Ann. So keep practicing that. Integrate the tapping, integrate the spiritual lessons from the foods. Let's see. Still bringing in more energy from the West, letting go of attachments. One way I was taught to let go of attachments back in the day, my teacher had me visualize myself in space and then allow myself to see all the attachments. And at first it was like there was no differentiation between one attachment to another. I just had attachments everywhere, front and back, top and bottom. It was crazy. And so he had me grab a tool to cut those attachments. So I don't think I used a lightsaber at that time, but my go-to nowadays is a lightsaber from Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan. And I just go through and cut every and all attachments off, which is very important for me with this work. As soon as I'm done here, we'll be cutting those attachments. So I'm not thinking about how you guys did all day, because it's not my responsibility. It's your adult responsibility, as we read earlier, right? And I felt lighter because I wasn't dealing with all these problems, which is one reason why I got off Facebook, 5 months back, however long ago, I don't even know how long, because I was taking on all these problems that everybody was going through, and I wasn't strong enough to deal with it. Let's see. How you feeling, Joanne? Madhavi, how you doing? Christine? Anyone else that might not have commented today? Hopefully I didn't miss you. Good. Oh my God, what? Enlighten us, Charlene. What's going through your head? Oh my God. Squirt release, north, south, east, west, ground, sun, moon. Good. We'll see if Charlene, you're very welcome. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? So many attachments. Yeah. Grab your tool, chainsaw, a blade, lightsaber. Nice. Good job, Joanne. Very good. Nice job seeing that. So again, Joanne, tap before you go to bed, okay? And then tap while you're in bed. You're very welcome. I hope to see you more. I don't know if I'll be doing these lives on the weekend, but if things come through, I will do it. Yeah, so I'll be here a lot. And if you miss out, Joanne, we all have a lot of work to do, okay? But guess what? You can tap about the fear of having to do so much work, okay? It's okay. I'm very close. Yay! Good. I bet the D is silent. Mojave. But we'll see. All right. So yes, thank you all very much. The videos will stay up here. They're on my page on YouTube also. They'll be there forever unless I go through chaos again and have to close it down. But I don't think I will this time because I'm ready. And my wife is ready. That was a big one. She was afraid of me doing the work again because back in the day when I did the work, it wasn't healthy for both of us. Even though it did its job, it got our bills paid and everything. Okay, I'm gonna copy your name. I'm gonna Google it, and I'll let Google tell me how to pronounce it. All right. Hips are sore, feeling I need to release something. Christine, in your hips, you do need to release something, but it's not physical. Chakra. So on the chakra download on my website, kimmcintyre.com, go to the chakras. You're going to want to work with third chakra, okay? And you're going to bring in the colors orange, then red, then green. Good. So you can tap on the emotions related to those chakras, okay, to find balance in those emotions, releasing the negative, but also bringing in the positive about those emotions and everything and anything that comes up. Good. Thank you, Madhavi. All right. And thank you, everybody, so much. And yeah, please spread the word, okay? Get this information out there so that we can help everybody and anything, not just at this time in our lifetime, but forever, okay? So thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.